How do I do it all? The Brezza gives me the power.
Rohit Sharma started the afternoon in Wankhede with 2 sixes of his first 2 balls. Ryan Rickleton raided through the power play. Suryakumar Yadav looked sublime through the middle. All of that combines to see Mumbai Indians finish with 215 for 7 after being asked to bat by Lucknow Supergiants in this 5 versus 6 clash to kick things off on double-header Sunday. On Maruti Suzuki Arena presents ESPN Cricket for Timeout. We look back on that first innings in the continuing company of Anil Kumble, Sanjay, Bangar and Wasim Jaffer. Gentlemen, thank you for your time. Mr. Kumble, congratulations. Your 212 comes closest.
First time.
It's the start of a hot streak. Might I wish you well. But thoughts on that score and just how that first innings transpired?
They batted really well. Rickleton was superb. He's been getting those starts but not been able to convert them. He has only 150 so far, but this one was really good. After Rohit got out early, I thought the power play was good. Will Jack sort of is probably that one batter you would expect to sort of kick through, but Suryakumar Yadav just made up for all of that. He was superb once again at number 4, and the kind of shots, I mean, every time you watch him, it only amazes you how he can bring up those shots consistently, and he was too good. I thought 215 is a good score. They'll certainly have to get the top order quickly.
Let's tuck into Surya because he has picked up the orange cap over the course of this innings. He came into this IPL after what was perhaps his first lull as a T20I batter, 10-12 games without scoring a lot of runs. Clearly, all those alarm bells were unnecessary.
Quite unnecessary, and somebody is obviously going to come across such a phase because if you're playing that much cricket, there's always going to be a little bit of a dip in form. But fortunately for Mumbai Indians, especially when their overseas batters haven't really been bigger contributions have not come from them, as well as Rohit's lack of runs in the first 5-6 matches meant that they needed runs from somebody else, and Surya was always there. So clearly that blank check for Surya has been encashed right on time for Mumbai Indians.
Yeah, and it is consistency, isn't it, Wasim? Because I think he's yet to have a score below 25 this season, while still striking at 170. And you can only really think of that one innings in the chase against RCB, where he got a bit stuck. Other than that, best of Surya again?
Yeah, I mean, like Sanjay said, when you're playing such a high-risk game, you're bound to, fail somewhere. But when he comes into this streak, when he plays like this, it's very tough to bowl. And he's somebody who gets run consistently and against all types of bowling. But I thought at the start, probably he was looking to score more, like we spoke about Rishabh. He's only targeting those leg side boundaries, especially square boundaries. But now he's found runs on the offside as well. He's looking to score runs there as well. And when he does that, he's very tough to bowl. Bowlers sometimes bowl him outside, but once he starts scoring there, there's nowhere to escape for the bowlers. But him coming good, I think, is so much more important for Mumbai.
For Mumbai Indians, and might I ask, for India as well, this is their T20I captain. You are about 8 months out from another T20 World Cup.
No, he's a class player. I mean, very important. You spoke about Surya's phase of not scoring runs for India, but he was captain. He was winning all the matches. I think at the end of it, that certainly helps. So coming into form, I mean, Surya is a class act. Like Wasim mentioned, it doesn't really matter what the bowling attack is. He's destroyed all kinds of bowlers across the globe. And it's not easy. Once he starts picking up those shots on the offside too, then it becomes very difficult for a bowler to bowl to him.
Yep, and Ravi Bishnoi would have found that out today. He was a bowler who had never conceded a 6 to Suryakumar Yadav. 45 or 50 balls he'd bowled before this, but today Suryakumar Yadav took him down to 23 of 8, including 2 sixes. But an equally important part in this Mumbai Indians innings is Ryan Rickleton's contribution at the top, especially after losing Rohit early after those 2 sixes.
And quite convincing as well, because LSG did use the 3 overs of leg spin in the power play, and the way he negotiated that was really outstanding. Played the slog sweep really well, and that's what you would expect from a South African batter, because against spinners, that is the shot that they go to. And I like the look of him because he stays quite low, and on subcontinental pitches, that is one of the keys that you would want to see from overseas batters, and that helps him get under the ball as well as have control over the shots that he plays once the ball pitches and turns a little bit. So all in all, quite impressive from Rickleton.
Lucknow going to those 3 overs of leg spin at the end of the power play, was that a ploy to take pace away from MI's batters, or was it a forced hand given how they had to manage their bowlers in the absence of Shardul?
No, I think, when you go with just the 5 bowlers, then you have to sort of manage that. I was a bit surprised, maybe 1 too many in the power play. Yes, you certainly look at Digwesh to give you that breakthrough. They were looking for that breakthrough after Rohit got out. Bishnoi, perhaps, you look at 1 over, but maybe 1 too many, and that's what forced Rickleton, because when you have the restrictions of a power play field, it becomes that much easier for you to take the spinners on a very good Wankhede pitch. So 1 too many in the power play. They could have probably played it out a little more, and then even the 19th over proving costly for LSG.
Yeah, 37 of 18 is what Rickleton took off the 2 Lucknow spinners. They had Aiden Markram as an option. They didn't go to him. Thoughts on that? And also, are Lucknow finding themselves in almost a Rajasthan Royals-esque position with the way they're lining up these days? 6 batters, 5 bowlers, not too much depth either side.
Yeah, I'm surprised, they didn't go to David Miller, Markram, and even Badoni. Badoni is somebody who bowls in domestic cricket, especially in T20 format, very, underrated. But he could squeeze in 1 or 2 overs from him, or even Markram. But when you've got only 5 specialists, then your job becomes even more difficult with 1 bowler coming out of injury, playing his first game. I was a little surprised they didn't use Avesh in the power play. He came straight away after the power play, so he could have used 1 there. And like Anil Bhai said, 19th over, lucky that Surya was not there, it could have been even more.
Yeah, and also, when you're looking at this impact player rule, you need to utilize that with your options of 6 bowlers. Even with this rule, if it's just the 5 bowlers that you're going to use, then it becomes that much harder for the 5 regular bowlers. If one of them gets taken down, then you're looking really at a massive score.
It also underlines the fact that even with the impact sub rule, if you have a genuine all-rounder, he always adds value. Now look at Delhi Capitals. Akshar Patel is doing that role pretty well. For MI, Hardik does that role. For CSK, it is Ravindra Jadeja. So even with the impact rules, people do say that, okay, our all-rounders go out of the way. But it is not exactly the run-of-the-mill all-rounders, but it's the specialist who will always add that value and give balance to the side.
I guess it adds up that Lucknow and Rajasthan, who were the 2 squads you saw who had the least all-round options, are the 2 teams who are struggling with their impact options. What we did get to see in Lucknow's bowling effort was Mayank Yadav back on the park after a while. Not the fastest, but it's going to take a while.
Yeah, it's going to take a while, but very impressive. For a first game after a long time, especially against a really good batting lineup, Mumbai Indians, good surface, Wankhede. As a bowler, irrespective of when you're playing at the Wankhede, that you don't have too many margins of error. So knowing all of that, and then coming back from an injury, he was very impressive. Picked up 2 important wickets, Rohit Sharma and Hardik Pandya. I thought the lengths that he bowled, the variations that he provided was really good.
Yeah, and as much as the pace was on the slow side, I think it's an average speed of 131. He was going to the slower balls quite often, 8 of them, if I'm not mistaken. Those 2 wickets, especially Hardik, hitting the top of off, got to make him feel good.
Certainly, and they were able to get the ball to reverse a little bit as well. Day game, again, scuffed up surfaces. We saw that how the bowlers were applying a lot of sweat on the ball as well, get one side heavy. And all 3 of them managed to get that Yorker pretty right. And overall, if you see, I want to say this again, but to manage this with 5 bowlers, all Indian bowlers and mostly uncapped bowlers, I think they've done a really good job with whatever resources that they have in the bowling department.
Yeah, you were saying that even Prince Yadav, whose figures might look 1 for 44, it looks odd, but was doing a job.
And quite sharp as well, looks to be a guy with a very big heart, not afraid to bowl in difficult situations, use the slow bouncers really well, excellent control over the Yorker as well, so very impressive Prince Yadav even in this game as well.
The Rohit wicket ball was 121, I think, 1 of 8 slower balls he bowled. You expect that to be a feature of Mayank Yadav as he returns and makes his way back?
I think just because he's returning, he's probably, not at his best. That's why otherwise at full tilt, you don't see Mayank Yadav bowling too many slow balls. So it's probably that. He was taken down for a couple of sixes, but that Rohit wicket would have, given him a lot of confidence. But I think, he didn't do a bad job. But as he plays 2 or 3 games more, I feel we will probably see the best of Mayank.
All right. Thoughts on the two spinners, and especially Digvesh Rathi? 2 overs in particular have hurt him. The last in the power play, always tough, and then the 19th, both going for 19.
Yeah, I think, it's not easy. It's a good surface. If you don't get the length right, then it's really hard on the bowlers. And with a little bit of bounce, it becomes that much easier for you to play the slog sweep as well, especially when you have restrictions on the field. It's one of those games. He's bowled exceptionally well throughout the tournament. You're going to have one odd game where you're going to go for runs. He did pick up Rickleton's wicket. It was nice that Rishabh sort of continued with him to get that wicket. He knew that he was not necessarily picking him, but then as soon as he sort of saw the length, he was going more towards the length rather than looking to pick Digvesh. But overall, I thought not easy pitch. I think it's not like it's totally above par that Mumbai have scored. At Wankhede, 210 or 205, that's sort of above, just around that number is the par score. So it's not that totally it's run away from them.
Coming into this game, this game was going to have the 2 bowlers who were the only ones to have an economy below 8 in the death overs, having bowled at least 5. One of them is an obvious guess. He'll bowl soon, Jasprit Bumrah. Do you know who is ahead of him?
Is that Avish Khan?
It was Digvesh Rathi at 7.65 per over in his 6 death overs before this. Could he have been used differently, or was it okay to keep that 1 over in the death for a bowler who had been doing well at the death?
I felt that Rishabh would have thought that till the time Surya is at the crease, he wanted probably to delay the use of Digvesh Rathi. But for me, the damage was done in the earlier part. Like, they had the option when Rickleton was going great guns, they had the option to take 1 over off maybe a Makram, or as Wasim said, of Ayush Badani as well. So there was a window of opportunity. So if you have to use the 6th bowler, maybe use him in the 7th over itself, or a little bit of an easier overs, and that's where you can really take pressure off some of the other bowlers when you're only having 5 bowlers. So that is where probably Rishabh Pant missed a trick and could have shielded a little bit better as far as the spin was concerned of his usage for the 19th or the 20th over.
All right, almost underway with the chase. Mumbai's change has been made. Jasprit Bumrah is on for Rohit Sharma. LSG, among their options on the bench is David Miller. We'll wait to see whether he comes on. How do you see this chase going? All on that top 3, or could this be the day someone from Lucknow's middle order steps up?
I think they've got batting till number 7, I would say. So they've got a big batting lineup. I am backing LSG to chase this.
Number 7 being Pant, or do we see that change?
Now Pant at number 4 for sure, if not 3.
Mumbai Indians has never lost a game when they've scored above 200, and that includes games which are played at in the evenings as well. So despite dew being a factor, so I see MI defending this target.
Comfortably, or is it close?
It doesn't really matter.
It does matter. We want to hold you accountable later.
Okay, sure. So I would say MI winning by 15 runs.
15.
Yeah, close game. I still feel MI should defend this.
And confirming your take was?
LSG to win.
LSG to
with how
win.
many wickets?
Okay.
So he also needs to be accountable.
That's what I need to confirm, yes.
LSG with 4 wickets. Win by 4 wickets.
All right, I can confirm that forecaster says 68.6% Mumbai, 31.4 Lucknow. We will leave it here, gentlemen. Thank you so much for your time and company. Anil Kumble, Sanjay, Bangar and Wasim Jaffer will continue to be with us through this evening. Be sure to join us at the end of this innings, or if it's carrying on, we'll be building up to the second game, 2 versus 3, Delhi versus RCB. Revenge on the mind for RCB. Join us then on Maruti Suzuki Arena, presents ESPN Cricket for Timeout.
How do I do it all? The Brezza gives me the power.